Okay, so it's I think it's around May 3rd, and I'm pretty close to the tiny house there. And I was thinking, yeah, I got a pretty good perimeter, but actually I don't. That tree right in front of us there is closer than 50 feet. It's a big old cedar. So that's definitely coming down. That tree right there next to the shipping container, that's coming down. And that tree over there with the yellow tag on it, that's coming down. And those two little oak trees are coming down. And then that'll be a little bit better of a perimeter. But now the ground, see how it's raked to the dirt there? But I'm just standing right here and then right next to me. You know, I haven't got to rake it up yet. And like I said, it's not that far. So what I did, started over here. I still have to rake it in between these trees in this area right here, but so far I've been raking piles. This is how I did the whole thing. That's how I've been doing it. Let's rake these piles of debris up. See, this is the old burn pile that was right there. I burned one right there by the shed, or by the container, and one right here. This is going to be a new burn pile again. But here in California, you need a burn permit now. And probably, see, so I'm pretty close to the shipping container, and I got all this area here raked up. And then back in here, all this little brush right here, that's coming out. I got a heavy brush blade for the weed whacker and got a steel weed whacker, so hopefully I could go right through that. Now this area here, see these piles, man, there's so much stuff in here. And this was the last burn pile that I burned right here. So I had already cleared a perimeter around this pile. But this time I worked back in this area back here. I went back further, a little bit further. See, there's a pile, but I still need to get all in here and right back in there. So this is about as far as I got here around this pile. So I need to work my way back this way, back in here, and do these in piles. And then what I'll do is I'll bring the four-wheeler up and dump the pile in the back of the four-wheeler. Like this area right here, I'll rake it up and you'll see the size of the pile just from this little area. All right, this old piece of oak should have some good designs if I win a slab. just started filming, so that's probably why this one's a little harder to get to turn. There. Should get it now. There was a knot over there. Okay. So I'll use these. I can put those down. Oh yeah, make a river table. Okay, I'm going to keep this live edge, so I'm going to cut this into slabs. Could be a bench. I'll make it 2.5 inches thick. Pull this off so you can see it. There's an ants infestation in this log, and that's what makes the hollow. I think these are carpenter ants. Yeah, see them? And that's what eats out the inside of the log, and you fill that with epoxy and resin, and then that's how you get the river tables and stuff. But I have to sweep this off, and yeah, over here you can see. And when I cut the next one, I'm going to cut it 2.5 inches also, and then I could put these two pieces side by side, connect them together, and make a really wicked table. But look at all the ants, man. There's a whole bunch of ants in here. So I guess those are carpenter ants. All right, let me get my gloves. Man, I gotta tell you, found a couple new tools this trip. One is a new pitchfork, which I'll show you in a little while. I didn't know there was different types of pitchforks. And another is this little saw right here. I think it's like a 10-inch blade, But it's so light, man. Instead of using a big saw or even a 16-inch electric, it kind of gets heavy. I got a bad back, you know, my shoulders, neck. So this little saw, you know, I use it most of the day for everything I do, except when I got to do a big log. But I really like it, man. If that would be a tool I could recommend. Yeah, see, 10-inch blade. Man, this thing kicks out a lot of air. You never knew it till all the dust started blowing in my face. Holy moly. And the cord gets snagged occasionally. So that's one thing to consider. But I really do like the smaller chainsaw better for stuff like that. This is gonna be the last log of the day. There's some more back there, but after I get this log between the stump and where the logs are there won't be enough room for the truck to go until I mill up some logs and get out of the way. So this is the last log for the day. Got a lot done this time. I still need to grab that one piece of tree back there with the dead vines on, or the dead limb on there. But I got two chunks. That's the top of the tree, way up there. And there's another piece that went all the way over to right there. It was one of those. So I got both of these trees up. Me and Zach pulled the first tree up last time, and then now I just got two chunks off of that one. And then there was a big one right here that was right next to the tree with the target on it, and I got that one up out of there. So there they are right there. They're three pretty good sized trees. Yeah, all my videos I'm trying to get something accomplished while I'm up here. The last video I shot was this one right here. I did the time lapse of that burn pile burning up. And so this time I created a whole new burn pile of all the debris back here that was around this pile. Because when I lit this one, I had a little perimeter around it, you know. But this time, I got a lot more stuff off the ground, a lot more debris off the ground from back here. You know, you couldn't even walk back here before. I think I got a time lapse of me raking this little area right here, but it was thick, and it still is thick, you know, going back further. But I got a lot out. This was all dead stuff like that dead oak there. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that right in this area that I got out, and it's all on that burn pile there. Yeah, I'm doing a couple, like 3 1-minute videos, because then I can, you know, text them out. But yeah, the next time I come, I'm gonna definitely drag that dead oak there and mill it up. This time, I got a lot of debris from back in this area back here. Like this area back here, you couldn't even get back here. It was so much stuff in there. It's just like, see all that manzanita back there, how you can't really get through there? That's how this area was. So, and there's a lot more debris to get. You know, I haven't even got back in there, and I haven't trimmed the branches off of those. I have to thin this area out also. So that's a lot. But I did get a lot of the ground debris back further this way, see? And I put it in that pile. That's a pile that I had already burned before in one of my previous videos, but I built it all up from ground cover that was back this way. So the shed's over there. It looks like I got, in the shipping containers right there, it looks like I have a pretty big fire protection zone buffer, but in reality, to be honest, it's not that big. I got a lot done this time. I kind of made a whole bunch of, got a lot of debris from this area back here. See, I didn't get over here yet. See all this debris right here on the ground? This type stuff here. See, that's how it looked. You know, it looked like that everywhere, but it really looked like it back there this time. So I got a lot out of there. And it looks like I got a pretty good distance, you know, from everything for a fire break. But in reality, to be honest, I need to cut down that tree with the cameras on, that solar panel thing on the tree there. That one. The cedar right here in front of me needs to go. And then the cedar right there on the other side of the shipping container has to go. And then I have to thin out right in that area in front of the shipping container. And I need to thin a lot out in this area, because, you know, if there's ever a forest fire, that get pretty hot, and it's only that far away. So the next time I come, I'll be doing another round. This tree, this one right in front of me, that one, those two, and then just it'll move. Like you can see the first row and then the second row. This will be the third row of trees that I take out, with the idea being to get enough of a buffer around this shipping container. I could ride out a fire if something happens, or you know, my stuff won't get all damaged. Just a quick video what I got done this time. That's where the saw used to be. Everybody will remember that from my last video. But I had cleaned up that burn pile on the last video. Also had burned before, and I burned that burn pile there. But those two I just created this time from back here, getting debris off the ground back here. And that created that pile, and then that other pile back there is from these trees I already had on the ground. So, and then I cleared out. Those piles are from all this debris that was on the ground here. So, yeah, it's getting to be a no burn time here in California, man. You got to get a burn permit, and pretty soon there'll be no burning, you know, all the way till October or something when it starts to rain. So when there's no burning, you got to build burn piles. At least that's what I do. I mean, I got to rake it a little bit better, but this pile is the pile that I burned in my last video, and I had to make a bigger perimeter around this pile before I could light it off in the last video. So now, you know, I drug out there some bunch. See that dead oak over there, and there I drug some other dead oak and I milled them into slabs. I'll show you later. But so the main thing is I got a lot of that debrushed in there, and around here you couldn't even barely get around this pile before. And then all the debrushed stuff I put on this pile because it's no burn. You got to get a burn permit nowadays. Here in California, it's May 6th, and so I can't burn. So when you can't burn, you have to make burn piles, and then just wait for it to rain, or we may not even be able to burn all the way till September, October, probably October. So I got this pile, and then I got debrushed all around that pile. That pile you couldn't even get around. See, there's a big target. There's a tree that was left there in the last video after Zach and I pulled that one tree out with the truck in slow motion. There was still a big cedar left stuck in there, and there was still 2 more pieces of that one. See that one over there? I dragged 2 pieces of that out, so that really opened this area up a lot. And then I went back there with the weed whacker. I got a Forester blade on the weed whacker. It's like a chainsaw blade, but it's for the weed whacker, and it just went through stuff like butter. So I got that all debrushed around there, and I got a lot. Took the weed whacker over there and got a lot of stuff debrushed, and then even over there, I got a lot done. I'm gonna show over here first. So last video, I had already milled that one log that me and Zach pulled, and it's over there in slabs. That's a cedar 16-footer 3-inch slabs. And then I had a bunch of spindly logs here, and I had to do about 4 or 5 of them and cut some of them to firewood, and then I was able to drag these those big pieces out from back there. So that was huge. So I got these big ones waiting for me next time. And then this thing, I'm gonna take all the boards off that roof. That failed in the snowstorm, and there's only 2 poles. I had 3 in the front, but in the back I only had 2 because it was easier to put the long boards in and out. So when the snow came, the back buckled, and that's what happened to that. And so I'm going to take those boards off the roof, and I'm going to use those to enclose the bathroom area over here around the toilet. Now this time also, I already burned this pile once, see, right by here. So I had burned, so that's all new debris that I raked up back here, and I had already burned that pile. And so that's all debris that was raked up around this area right in here. And I need to cut that tree down. I didn't have time. You can see there's like a ring of trees here that I cut. And now next time I'm gonna do this next level back. That one, that one, that one. That's 3 right there. This one is 4. That one with the broken, midsection there is 5. And then I'm gonna thin out in there. So I got a lot to do on the next trip. And when I cut those trees, all the limbs will be made into brush piles. Probably fill up that burn right there, put some new stuff on it. And I just seen that I left my water pump sitting over there. I put the water pump into that 40-gallon barrel of water, and then I can spray it out through the hose. All I have to do is run some power to the plug. So that's how I do my water control out here for my fires. And yeah, that's my water pump laying on the ground. I have to put that away. But yeah, I got a lot debrushed. Got some more debris piles. These poles here are going to be used as backstops for the shooting range. I'm going to make some backstops. And I got also in the front, see, these are some of the slabs and benches I'll make or something out of them. And 2x4s that I got out of those spindly pieces, probably four or 5 logs that were there from last time. Yeah, so now I got those when I come back. But this whole area here, man, I got a lot of debris out of there. I don't know if you can tell from the videos before, but when I look at it, it's incredible. Even in the front, you see all these brush piles I raked up all back in there. And I have piles waiting. These piles here are waiting for me to put them in the back of the 4-wheeler and put them over there on that debris pile. I just don't have the time this time. So yeah, I got a lot done, and there's a lot left to do. Alrighty, and then yeah, I'll be excited to use the boards from this roof, and I'm going to use it to enclose that bathroom area there, and then use the metal like you see around the bottom. I'll use that as cladding, over those boards, so if there's a fire, it won't burn up. And that's about it for now. That's what it looks like from the front door now. Before, you couldn't see anywhere in those woods. They still really need to be trimmed, thinned. Honestly, I'd probably still burn up in the fire with all these trees right here. But I'm working on it. We'll see what happens on the next time. All right. Nope. Oh yeah, that's another thing I learned on this trip, is that this toilet is gravity fed, right? So when you push the lever over there to flush it, the bottom opens up and some water shoots out and it drops in there. However, it's not like flushing your toilet at home where you get a big swirl and push it all the way down into the tank. So what happened was, it was getting stuck in that line between the toilet and in there, because it's not enough of a slant, right? So I gotta take that black PVC out of there, move this tank over right in front of the toilet there. That stump is like right in my way, but I'm gonna get it, as close to by the toilet as I can. And then just go right from underneath the toilet right to that orange thing and right into the tank. And then I think that'll work a lot better than it's working now. I have to just flush it out with some hose and some water and just flush it down, through there and into the tank. That way, to clear the pipe. And then the orange pipe, I had to lift it up. See how it dips right there? when I lift it up, because it kind of kinks right there where it goes into the tank. So when I lift up that indentation there, then everything went right into the tank. So I need some modifications. But that pump works great, man, and the toilet flushes perfect. So, yeah, I just didn't have time to mess with it this time. And then I got the shower stall I got to put in. And I put the cement boards back over the floor there. I'm going to cover that one piece of wood with another cement thing. Just so that now there's nothing attached to the place that can catch on fire except for the toilet, I'm like, clear it out, all in front of there, so there's nothing. I even took the mat and put it on the ground. So that's the whole thing is, I'm still, everything I did so far is I'm still probably 95% sure that all this stuff would just burn up, if there was a fire. So, some people probably say, man, I would have just hired a couple logging trucks. They could have came in, took all those trees there, thinned it out there, and took a whole bunch of trees and got paid. And then I could have a bulldozer come in and then just clear the place for the house, and then get a perk test for a septic tank, and then have a electricity run. You could have electricity run from the road out there. It's about a half mile and a couple poles, so it's about 10 grand. And I could do that. So I'd have septic, electricity, and drill a well for the water. But then you got to get all the permits, and they raise your property taxes. And this isn't that. This is off the grid camp, So eventually I'll fix that up inside, have a tiny house on that trailer I can drag around to wherever I'm working in the forest. And, I'll make some tree houses back up in there. I need to blaze a trail back. There's a spring-fed stream back there in the forest that I have to blaze a trail through so I could pump water up here. And then I would have water. I'm going to do a ram pump. You have to look it up on the internet if you want to see what that is. But that doesn't take any electricity. It's kind of a hydraulic deal. And that way I'll get water up here. So I have water. I have electricity with the solar panels. Has septic once I fine-tune that. And then what else do you need? Electricity, water, septic. And except you need more space. It's 10 by 12, the shed. So on the trailer there, it'd be like I might get 8 by 20. And have like 4 feet hanging off the back of the thing. And then 8 by 20, that'd be pretty good, little studio. But I haven't even done anything to the inside of the shed. I just have my cot in there and a stove and, and some shelves with food and stuff on them. And batteries hooked to the solar panels there. Oh, mosquitoes are coming out. I better get out of Dodge. Alrighty. So yeah, I just like to get something done on each video. And I know it's not, what a lot of people would do. But this is just what I can afford to do. And I'm working, so I only can do it on like weekends and stuff, so I'm not out here all the time, but I'm out here, often. So, but once I retire, I can spend a couple weeks. Yeah, you could tell they thinned out in here since the last time. I've been back here, but I mean, see the limbs still come down, and there's a lot of dead stuff on the ground. But they did take us some trees. They did thin it out in there a little bit. I don't know, if that's PG&E or what. But see, that's what you gotta do. You gotta thin it out. You have to limb it up about 20 feet off the ground, so just a little spark don't go up into the canopy there. This is like right at the end of my driveway. So that's why I have burns all the time. So